Good day, good people. I am Phaedra Dion, and thank you for joining me for another video here on the SVG Tubes YouTube channel. In this tutorial, I will be creating the Hustle Mode cut file that you see here on my screen. I will be making the cut file in Cricut Design Space, but I'm going to be using two other sites to get and to prep this Go button right here. So the other two sites that I'm using will be VectorGrove and Photopea. And I'm going to put the links to both of these down in my description. You can get Photopea right now by creating a free account on AppSumo if you don't already have one, and use the vectors that are a part of their free tier. So let me go here to VectorGrove, and I created a free account, and I'm gonna put on button, and notice that there are, oh, let me do the filter. So I'm gonna come up here and filter by just the free tier because that's all I have access to with this free subscription. And notice it's pretty cool. Free lifetime access to VectorGrove, all future plan updates. You have to activate it in 60 days. And you have access to 500K premium royalty-free vectors, icons, infographics, cartoons, templates, fonts, logos, flags, and textures. And it's got a standard commercial license and comes with copyright protection. So I am going to be using this EPS, and I'm going to take this into Photopea, and I am going to crop out everything but on, and I'm going to get rid of the black background. So let's get started. I'll close this and make a new project. Coming over here on the left-hand side in the vertical menu and clicking on new. And I'll go here and change my background color. I think it already did. It reset itself. Awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll go back to VectorGrove, and we're going to get the original file. Don't get the PNG or the JPEGs because it's going to be harder to get rid of the background with those. Get the EPS. So EPS stands for Encapsulated PostScript. And you can open this in like Adobe Illustrator or Inkscape. We can also open it in Photopea. And we will see that this EPS is layered, which is going to make it easier for us to get rid of the stuff that we don't want. So I'm going to click here on download and put it in my personal storage. And then I'll go over to Photopea and I will open this file. So I am just going to drag it from the taskbar into Photopea. Now Photopea is free. You can actually pay to get rid of the ads. And you don't see any ads here on my browser because I'm using the Brave browser, and one of the hallmarks of the Brave browser is privacy, and it blocks ads. If you turn the feature on, it'll block them automatically. So if you're seeing a bunch of ads over here, it's because that's how they can let you use it free. But you're not seeing it on my screen because I'm using the Brave browser, and I'll link the Brave browser down in my description also, because another cool thing about the Brave browser, you can earn tokens toward cryptocurrency. Okay, so let's isolate this on button. So I'm gonna come over here to the layers panel, and if you don't see the layers panel, go up to window and layers and check it, and it'll pop in. And I'm gonna click on the right pointing arrow next to the folder next to help to open all of this up. So I have all these different layers. So I can break this apart so that I can use these buttons separately. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the background. So I'm going to click on the little eyeball here and turn the visibility off. And then I'm going to turn the visibility off on stop. I'm going to turn the visibility off on panic, on enter, on act, on play, on SOS, on click, and on help. Um, and that's going to leave me with just the button for on. So I'll go here and crop this. I'm going to go to the crop tool, and if you don't see it, click and hold until you see all the tools, and then you want the crop tool. And I'm going to crop this down to just the on button. About like that. And then I'll come up here and click the check mark to commit to it. And then I will save this as an SVG, a scalable vector graphic. So file, export as SVG. And I'll go here and I'll put on. Do I have the right? I think I chose the wrong thing. But you know what? It's fine. I didn't choose the go button. I chose the on button. But we're going to do the on button. If I had gone to the next page, it would have showed me the go button. This one right here. I'm sorry, but hey, it's cool. It's my SVG, my cut file, and I'm making it, and so it can be whatever I want it to be. So the on button, that's what that's gonna be. And if this box is checked to add raster graphics, uncheck it. A raster is based on points or pixels, and we don't want points or pixels, which is why we're saving it as a scalable vector graphic. So no matter how big we make it, it never distorts or blurs, okay? So uncheck that. And then we're going to click Save. And save that to your personal storage. And now that we have our SVG, let's go back to Cricut Design Space and we will upload that SVG. So I'm going to go here to upload. You see I have the go button for when I did it the first time, but we're going to do the on button now. So I'm going to go to upload image and browse. And I am going to navigate in my personal storage to wherever I put that. So it's a good idea to remember where you put stuff. And I'm going to bring it in. It's going to bring it in as a cut image and not give me an option for anything else, which is fine with me. And so I'm going to choose upload. And then I will select it by clicking it once and adding it to my canvas. And before I go any further, because I always forget to do this, I am going to save my document. Now notice that our SVG is in layers, which is a good thing. Because what you could do is if you wanted this to be a different color, maybe you want on to be white. So I'm going to select those two and change it to white. And I'm going to go up and save my document because I always forget to save my document for some reason. So hustle mode on. And I'm going to scooch this out of the way. And then I'm going to get my text box over here in the vertical menu. I'll click it a couple of times. And for one, I always do that. For one, I'm going to type in hustle. And for the other, I'm going to type in mode. And if you do this thing like I do and mess up the width of the box, just pull it out. I don't know why I do that all the time. Okay, so now I want fonts. And if you watched some of my previous videos, I talk about how with Cricut Design Space free version, There are only like 31 free fonts. And I'm actually kind of like unhappy with that one. So I'm going to just remake it right quick. Mode. All right, there we go. And we're going to use 2 of those free fonts. And I am going to make the font different for Hustle than it is for Mode. And remember, this is your cut file. So you don't have to use the same fonts that I use. You can use whatever fonts you like. So I'm going to, with Hustle selected, I'm going to go up to Fonts, and I'm going to type in Stencil. And there are a bunch of stencil fonts, but since I'm using the free version, there's only a couple that are available to me. So I am looking for campaign stencil. I'm not seeing it because I have only current fonts selected here. So let me deselect that, and then I will see campaign stencil. So Hustle Mode is going to be in campaign stencil. I'm sorry, Hustle. Then Mode, I'm going to put in, let me see, what's that one I like? It's Trade Gothic, I believe. So let me type in Trade Gothic. This one. So now I have all 3 pieces of my cut file. I want both of these, Hustle and Mode. I'm going to hold down Shift to select Mode too. I want them both to be black. And I want Hustle to be bigger than Mode. So I am just going to drag it out until it's bigger, because I want to emphasize Hustle. And then I'm going to select both Hustle and Mode. I'm going to go up to Align, and I'm going to choose Align to the left so that the H and the M are flush. And then I'm going to bring over the On button and make it smaller so it fits right next to Mode. And I actually will make Mode bigger. I want it to be smaller than Hustle, but I want the On button to sit right next to it, like about right here. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all 3, and I'm going to group them. And then I'm going to put an offset around them. All right, so I'm going up to offset here, and I will click the down arrow. And the default is usually 0.25, but I can make it bigger or smaller. I'm going to go with the default. And the corners right now are curved, but if you want them to be straight edge, you can choose that option. I actually want the curve in mine. And so then I'm going to click Apply. And it usually makes it black, but I want mine to be white. So I'm going to go up to Operation, click on the color picker here, and change it to white. Now remember, this is my cut file. You may want yours to be gold or orange or green or pink, I'm sorry, or purple, or is that lavender? Lavender or pink. And you can come down here to Advanced, and you can put in your own hex number. So if I wanted it to be a specific goal, I could put in that hex value to make it a specific goal. Okay, but I want mine to be white. And I can group the offset with the rest of this and attach it. Oh, sorry, Control Z. Let's do this. Let's flatten it. So select it all and flatten it. And then I don't even need to attach it because it's all one thing. And then just so you can see what it looks like with the white background, I'll go up here and change the canvas color. So now I have this new cut file, this new SVG cut file that I can make, and I can do a print then cut to make it into a sticker. I can do a print then cut and put it on permanent vinyl. I can make it into a sublimation asset. I can do all kinds of things with this. The cool thing is that it's mine. I created it so I can use it however I like. So I thought about this one today because I was talking to a friend of mine and I was like, hey, what you doing? And, you know, she said, oh, I'm in hustle mode. And I was like, that would make a good little asset, a little cut file. So I went on Google and put in hustle mode and notice there are a lot of different versions of this hustle mode. So I like to use Google for inspiration and concept ideas, but I don't get assets from Google because these belong to somebody else. And this stuff comes with a license. So if you click on any one of these, you'll usually see images may be subject to copyright. And that's Google's way of letting themselves off the hook for you going on Google Images and using illustrations or files without permission. So hustle mode is a concept. It's not something that's copyrighted, but it's when a person creates it in a certain way, that's when it becomes their intellectual property. But what we just did was we made our own. We used the concept and made our own. So now we have our own cut file. We can use it. We can share it. We can exchange it. We can sell it. We can do whatever we want to do with it. And I actually like this. So if you have any questions and or comments, leave them in the comments. Also, let me know what kind of cut file you would like to see how to make in future videos, because I would be happy to put it together and make some tutorials about them. Again, I used Photopea to isolate the one little button that I wanted, and I got the free option for VectorGrove from AppSumo and downloaded the EPS that I wanted to get the button off of there that I wanted. And again, I'll put these links in the description below so you can get to them. And I say the free version because if you put in VectorGrove, you'll see that there's a paid option also. So you don't really need that unless you just want to have like the 2 million, but you'll have access to the 500K if you just get the free version. And you may want to just get the free version now and try it out and see if you do want to upgrade to the paid version, but you don't need it because there's a lot of assets here. And last thing, this is what graphic designers do. They don't necessarily make every single thing from scratch. They find sites like this and VectEasy, and I'll put this in the description also, and they get like stuff to start with, and then they build around that stuff. So I'll actually talk about this in another video about different vector sites where you can get starter assets that are properly licensed and will help you not have to start from scratch. So thank you for watching.